Hello all, hope you are doing well and you are doing practice. So today we are going to discuss one of the most important topic in JavaScript. That is a constructor function versus classes. Okay, so far we understood in from last 2-3 videos we understand what how to create a constructor function and how to create a class and what is prototype and what is like just introduction to the prototypal inheritance. Okay, so today we are going to learn like exact difference between the constructor function and class and which one we need to prefer. Okay, so we can I'm just open the VS code and we can create one constructor function and we can create one class, and we should understand what is the difference between, and of course we are going to decide which one is the best in 2023. So I'm creating a constructor. Hope you already aware how to create a constructor function, otherwise please go back and learn. So just create a function and give a name, like I'm just giving a name called employee, or even you can take a player, whatever it is. I'm just going to provide the same kind of methods and properties. So the constructor function name or class name, both should be in capital letters. So if you want to create a class, okay, this is a class, and here I'm just taking a student, okay, because the class don't have a parenthesis, right? And this function, and if you want to define any methods, like I'm just taking two things, the first name and the last name, both are, I'm expecting two parameters, the first name and last name. For the class, what we have learned already, we should have a constructor to receive the parameters, right? And this is the default method. Whenever you are going to create any new object, it will execute this constructor function. Of course, here the first name and the last name. Okay, this is the constructor function. Here is the class. I'm just writing side by side so that it is very easy for you to understand. And here we already learned, okay, constructor function will create a object with a name called this. Okay, this is a very important. Okay, that like constant this equal to an object. It will create internally. Okay, we don't need to write that one again, and that's why we are attaching this property called first name and the last name to the same object that is called this. Okay, we have a confusion. Many people have confusion with the this keyword, from where it is coming. So this is coming here only. Whenever you create a new object with the help of classes, or whenever you create an object with the help of constructor function, okay, it will create internally, it will create an object with a name called this, and we are going to bind our properties and methods to that object. Okay, fine. The first name is done, and then this dot the last name is equal to the last name. Okay, the here how to attach those properties. Here also same, it will create an object. For understanding purpose, I'm writing here, it will create an object with a name this only. So now we can attach the same, the first name equal to the first name. Okay, if you have confusion, because this first name is this one, okay, we are receiving as a parameter, and we are attaching to the same um, one. So the last name is equal to the last name. So this is the property. So here, okay, here it will return that object to you whenever you create an object with the constructor function. So but how to, because if you have a method, suppose if you want to provide any methods for that constructor function or the class, okay, previously what we have learned, we have written like this dot, okay, get full name equal to the function, and we have written like this console.log, okay, like so just go with the curly braces, this dot first name, and give a space, and again if you want to attach any another variable, you can go with this dot last name. So here also, if you attach a method inside the constructor, okay, it will treat as a property. Okay, it will treat as a property. So I will show you what is the difference. But if you want to reuse the logic, what we understand, we should attach these methods, these functions to the prototype. Okay, that's what already I have explained. So how to attach that to the prototype? So in the constructor function, we should avoid writing these things inside that. So just remove it. Okay, you can just create, if you attach like that, these will be a properties only. Those are not become like a methods. So methods should be always a reusable. If you attach to the prototype, then it will be available for the prototypal inheritance. So this is also, if you don't know, please watch the previous videos, otherwise you will get confusion. Okay, fine. So now in this classes also, we should not attach methods like this. Okay, we should not attach methods like this, because we should attach the prototype. That is, then only we can reuse the logic. Super. So how to attach the prototype? So for the constructor functions, what we need to do, if you want to attach any method to the prototype, you need to write employee dot prototype dot. Now you can mention that method name get a full name. Now you can write the function. Okay, here we can write console.log, console.log, use this backticks, and follow this syntax. This is very simple and very useful. I will explain this in a separate video. Okay, this dot the last name. Okay, whenever you want to achieve the prototypal inheritance, because if you attach here directly, it will attach that method on each and every object what we are going to create. If you attach this to a prototype, that will be in a common area, and everyone, all the object can share the same logic. So I will show you in a few minutes, even if you didn't watch the previous videos. So if you want to attach any method to the prototype, this is the syntax. But in case of classes, this is going to be very simple. So directly you can define get full name like this. Okay, get full name like this. So this is the only difference between the classes and constructor functions. Because here, if you want to attach anything to the prototype, if you want to share any logic, okay, in between all the objects, you should attach a method to a prototype like this. Okay, after defining that constructor function, again you need to attach those methods to that prototype. But in the classes, if you see, just syntax wise it is different, otherwise the logical wise both are same. Because still in JavaScript we will use constructor, because JavaScript was built on top of constructors only. But ES6, okay, these classes were introduced in 2015. Okay, classes came in 2015 only with the ES6 features. This ES means ECMAScript. Okay, I hope you are aware already. So here, this is not required. I hope you guys understood what is the meaning of this. So I'm just removing unnecessary things. Now it will be very, very simple. Okay, only the syntax wise, because when it comes to the attaching a method to a prototype, the syntax is different. Otherwise, the same. Here we have a parenthesis. We should pass n number of parameters. But if you want to pass any parameters, here you should use the constructor. So now how to create an object for a constructor using a constructor function. So simple. So constant employee1 equal to new employee, and you can pass the information of a first name and last name. Employee, suppose okay, Muhammad. Okay, Sira, he's doing very good performance in this 1 day series. Okay, that's why I'm using his name. And another player. So here, if you want to create any object with the help of classes, the this is simple. So I'm just writing student1 is equal to new student. You can use a class name, and again you need to pass the parameters like through arguments. Now Shubman, okay, Gill. Maybe spelling is wrong. Sorry for that. Shubman Gill, he got a double century the last 1 day. So that's why I'm mentioning those names. So here, if you see, understand clearly, this is very, very simple. This is the constructor function. With the help of that, if you want to create any object, and the syntax is same. If you observe carefully, the syntax is same. And even you can create multiple objects so that we can observe that the prototypal inheritance employee, and we can go for Virat, okay, Kohli, and here like constant student 2 equal to new student. That is, you can take any name like Hardik Pandya. Okay, if you are following cricket, hopefully you know all these names. Otherwise, maybe you don't know who is Shubham Gill, who is Hardik Pandya. So let's see what is there inside the browser. How we can see whether it's real. First, we can compare employee one with the student one. Okay, we should understand few important things here. Then we can see how it is following the inheritance also. Here I'm just writing console.log, okay, student1. So please follow the same kind of structure for one-time practice. Then it's going to be very, very easy for you. So just refresh the browser. You will see, okay, employee details and student details here. So like employee one and student one. Okay, employee one like Muhammad Siraj, and employee two this Shubham and Gil. So if you see, observe carefully, even in the object, almost everything is same. But how do you know that whether this object is created with the help of a constructor function or with the help of a class? Just expand this prototype. So if you see, observe carefully here, this employee is coming from a function. Okay, here observe carefully this constructor. If you observe the constructor, then you will understand clearly. Here it is coming from the class, the student. Here it is coming from employee. So with this F means it's a constructor function. That means it is constructed by a function with the help of that. Apart from that, everything is same. Okay, if you see here, we have attached the get full name to this or this prototype. Here also we attached that get full name to the class prototype, so that employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 100, employee 1000, everyone can use this function. Okay, that is called the prototype, and this is prototype. And what is a prototype inheritance? So if you don't find a method inside your object, it will go and find in the prototype, and it will try to fetch use from this place. Okay, so let me give with the example. So what we are doing, so employee 1 is there. So now just try employee 1 dot get full name. So what will happen, employee 1 dot get full name means first it will go and check in that object called employee 1. If it doesn't find, and it will try to find that get full name from its parent, means like a prototype, from where it has came, the prototype. It will check in the prototype. If still, if you can't find in the prototype, it will show that that method is not available or something. So hopefully you will get the output. So you got the Muhammad Siraj from where it's coming. So it is going and it is executing this get full name on top of this object. So you are inheriting, you are going and you are taking help from your parent, like from prototype. This is called prototypal inheritance. Okay. Sorry. So if you see, for even if you create another object, employee 2, so employee 2 are also executing the same method which is available in that prototype. Employee 2 also getting, and for employee 2 you are getting exact details like Virat Kohli. So if you see, employee 1 don't have a get full name, employee 2 also don't have a get full name. Let me log that employee 2 also, console.log. Okay, employee 2. So we are sharing this get full name from prototype to employee 1 and employee 2 and all the objects. So that is called the inheritance. So refresh. Hopefully you can observe carefully. Employee 1 don't have a get full name method. Employee 2 don't have a get full name method. So it is taking from prototype, that is coming from employee constructor function. Here also for employee 2 also, that is coming from employee constructor function. So if you want to draw the diagram, I will draw. So this is employee constructor function. We have created two objects. One is employee 1 and this is employee 2. Okay, that is available inside the prototype. How can we draw that? The get full name is there in the prototype, and if you don't find a method inside this employee 1, it will take help from this prototype. We are inheriting get full name method from this prototype to employee 1 object, employee 2 object. Even if you create hundreds or thousands of objects, okay, like this is employee 1, employee 2, employee 3, employee 4. So if you create, so what you can do, employee 1 get full name is will go and execute this function only. Employee 2, 3, everyone will use the same function. This is like a prototype. This is prototype of employee constructor function. Okay, these are employee 1 like employee 4. So here we should understand few important things. Like here, if you observe carefully, class constructor functions and classes are working similarly, only syntax wise it is changed. In a constructor function, if you want to attach anything to the prototype, you need to use this syntax, employee.prototype.getFullName. get full name. But without using prototype keyword, itself, we can achieve the same kind of thing in classes. This is very, very useful. Okay. Then what will happen if I attach a method, inside this constructor? Okay. This one I already explained, but if you miss my previous videos, for that I'm explaining one more time for you. So if you attach this one, observe carefully, I'm attaching another one like a hello, say hello. Same, I'm just writing a simple function. I'm writing console.log, console.log, hello, good morning. Okay, hello, good morning. And what will happen? Observe carefully, refresh, employ. So if you attach any method in the constructor function itself without attaching it to a prototype, that is available on top of each and every employee. So this is the unnecessary thing, right? So why we need to attach to this? There is no use, because the functionality of the say hello for employee 1 and employee 2 to employee 100, the logic is same. But unnecessarily here we are wasting the memory. If you suppose if you create 100 objects and if you attach this say hello to every object, okay, how much memory we are wasting? So instead of that, if you attach it to the prototype, we can save a lot of memory. That is the best design pattern. That is because if you attach to prototype, anyone can use it. So if you feel that if you want to achieve a prototypal inheritance, if you want to save the memory, and if you want to reuse the common logic, go for a prototype. So for the same thing, even suppose this is also possible, this dot the say hello. Here also you can write a function. But what will happen? Here also it doesn't achieve the reusability. It will attach this say hello for each and every object so that we will waste the memory. So don't do like this. Please use prototypes. So just refresh. So what is happening if you create, suppose student, I have created one student so that it is attached to that student. Even if you create two students or three students, four students, 100 students, it will attach this method to every student. So instead of avoiding these kind of mistakes, what we need to do, we should not write like this. So say, so always you should attach to the prototype. But here, now I hope you got the clarity. Which one is simple? So using the classes is very, very simple. Classes are very simple. You don't need to use the prototype keyword and you don't need to fall into the confusion that what we are writing or something. Simple, simple, simple. So just what are the properties you want, just define those things in the constructor, and the methods, this should be a reusable. That's why just mention outside the constructor, these will go and attach to the prototype, and so that we can reuse the code. Like this is one level of inheritance. So there is another concept called prototype chain. Okay, in that video I'm going to um, explain what is prototype chain in the next video. Please watch that one also so that you will understand what is a prototypal inheritance perfectly. So this is one level of inheritance. Whether if you attach any method to a prototype, you can inherit to all the objects. This is just inheritance. Then what is a prototype chain? So that is going to be very, very interesting thing. So I hope you guys understood. If you have any question, please mention in the comment or you can send me a message so that I will give a clarity. And if you understand clearly, yeah, please do a practice and do a revision. Then only you will remember the logic. Otherwise, you will forget. Okay. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye bye.